Bienvenidos, bienvenidas. ¿Cómo están todos? ¿Cómo están todos? ¿Bien? ¿Bastante bien? Pretty good? Okay. Vale, es lunes. It's Monday. You know, who can super bien? No. Super great? No. Nobody's super great on a Monday. Okay. Vamos a practicar hoy. Vamos a practicar con algo y nada, con alguien y nadie. This will be a little bit video heavy in that there are a lot of short videos, but these videos help you see examples. They will plug in examples for you to play with, okay? Vamos a practicar también con usando alguien, nadie. We're going to practice, you guys are going to practice with alguien and nadie and algo and nada. That is what I wanted to ideally send you off into groups for, but if nobody's comfortable pulling up a second screen, we may do that together as a posting. You know, it'll still work out. Bien, y vamos a practicar con el tiempo, and we're going to do a lot of practice with weather. A lot of this will be with some things where hopefully I can share some screens with you and you can kind of take turns going in and answering some questions with weather. So it'll be basically with the affirmative, negative words, those pairings, okay, and with weather. I hope to get to a couple of the questions that Isaac had about some special kind of pronouns, which is pretty easy to work with too, but we'll see if we can fit that in today. Ok, vamos a empezar. Vamos a empezar con un video de práctica, ejemplos, con algo y nada. And these are going to be used as kind of a mirror image thing, as opposites. Okay, so there are going to be times when he's going to plug in, have fill in the blank examples, where you have to decide, do I put algo in or do I put nada in? So you're looking for, if it's an affirmative statement saying something, algo, or a negative statement, meaning you'll need the word nada. Okay, it's opposite. Algo, something, nada, nothing at all. And nada, in the vast majority, like really 99% of the time, is going to have to be a double negative. So you're going to notice that. There'll be at least one word, no. It might even be triple negatives, but at least one word, no, in front of a verb, and then nada trailing behind. So keep that in mind. Y vamos a empezar dentro de poco. These are both short videos. There are two that were done in sequence with examples of algo and nada. And I will probably pause them a little as we go on, because sometimes he uses some past tense. So, you know, we'll pause it as we need to check out to check out what some of those examples are when you need some filler explanation for vocabulary.
Hola, en esta lección vamos a practicar las palabras algo y nada. Now, if we understand that algo means something and nada means nothing, let's try them out in a few sentences. Determine if the word in the blank could be algo or nada. Pause the video if you need more time and check the word bank if you aren't sure about a word.
Now, me dijiste, dijiste es you told me, it's past. So all you need to know is it's the past of decir, to say, to tell, okay? Doesn't matter that you can conjugate that. Me dijiste, did you tell me? That's what that means. Did you, not are you right now, but did you in the past? Did you tell me?
Algo.
Algo. Algo.
Me dijiste, you need to decide, is it algo or is it nada?
Algo.
Algo.
¿Me dijiste algo?
Los muchachos no
Nada.
hacen.
Nada.
Right. And our big clue is this word no.
No.
Right? That's signaling to us already that we're going to do a negative.
Los muchachos no hacen nada durante las vacaciones.
No tenemos
Nada.
nada. And you'll notice decir has a little word le tagged onto its back end. Decirle is tell him. And the al papá de Carlos is just defining that the le means him, Charles's dad. Not, and le does not mean her, or does not mean you, usted, that's all.
No tenemos nada que decirle al papá de Carlos.
Dientes son teeth. Teeth.
Algo.
Algo. Algo.
¿Tengo algo en mis dientes?
Te compro, this is a question you can tell already because you can see this. You would have to listen to somebody's voice intonation go up. Te compro means, shall I buy you? And te indicates who I'm buying something for, okay?
Algo.
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 ¿Te compro algo de comer? Notice this is not a literal translation. As we'll find a lot in Spanish, things don't always translate correctly to English. So in English we'd say, can I buy you something to eat? In Spanish, this is a fairly natural construction of, for you, I buy something of to eat. Sounds kind of weird when you translate it, but it sounds fine in Spanish.
No
Necesito
necesito
nada.
Nada.
No necesitan nada para estar felices.
And les means them. Do you comprendes, understand?
Nada.
Here it's a negative.
Nada.
¿No les comprendes nada a las personas en tu trabajo?
And pasaron is a past. What that is asking is, did everybody come on in through the restaurant?
Algo.
The
Algo.
pasaron is just a past, the past tense of did they come through? Did they come in?
¿Pasaron todos por el restaurante para comer algo? Las chicas.
And it's already coming in. Van de compras, they go shopping. De compras, tagged on to van, means shopping, going shopping.
Chicas van de compras para comprar algo nuevo.
Something new.
Ven ustedes, do you guys see? And detrás means in this direction, not here, but
Algo.
Algo.
Something in this.
¿Ven algo ustedes detrás de aquel árbol?
flotando means floating.
Ooh.
Flotando mi sopa, floating in my soup.
Algo.
Algo.
Yeah. Uy.
Señor, hay algo flotando en mi sopa.
Nada.
Nada.
O sea, nada.
To do anything. Don't want to do that.
No quiero hacer nada los sábados.
Nada.
Muy bien. That's all for this video lesson over algo and nada. Let me know if you have any questions or comments.
Okay. Bien, comprenden, entienden, ¿verdad? Okay. Algo más muy breve, another one, and again, this will be short, but it's like another follow-up. And actually, I like these because, you know, you're deciding if it's one side of the coin or the other, if it's affirmative or if it's a negative. Okay? So we'll take a look at the second one. Again, it is quite short.
En esta lección vamos a practicar las palabras algo y nada un poco más. So, as you should have picked up by now, algo in Spanish means something or anything, and nada means nothing. Keeping that in mind, let's try one more thing. I'm going to give you some sentences in English. You try translating them into Spanish using your knowledge of algo and nada. Of course, there might be a word or two you don't know in Spanish, or I might go kind of fast. In either of those cases, pause the video if you need more time, or check the word bank if you aren't sure about a word. Is something wrong?
Oh, and this one is tough. Don't try to guess this. This is not going to use is. When people ask if something is wrong, they often use the word or the verb tienes, which sounds weird because it really means you have, tienes. But he'll explain it. And actually, this is a really great thing to know because if you want to ask if something is wrong, this is how you ask it.
¿Tienes algo?
Algo.
Now, that's odd, isn't it?
Wow.
That doesn't make sense to us in English. If you're translating in your head in English, that won't make sense. But tienes algo could mean potentially, do you have something? Like you notice there's something in somebody's hand, but you can't quite discern what it is. But tienes algo is a really common way of saying, what's the matter? What's wrong? Okay.
Or for the usted, ¿tiene algo? Now, why this literally translates to, do you have something? It's used in the context of if something is wrong. We can answer that now. No, nothing is the matter. Nothing's wrong.
No,
You could answer and say, no tengo nada.
No tengo nada.
I literally don't have nothing.
Nothing.
Or, no pasa nada.
So either one of those works. No pasa nada, nothing's wrong. No tengo nada, nothing's wrong. Okay. Those are good to know because people often ask, is something wrong? They notice you're lost, right? You're looking around for directions or something.
We aren't doing anything now.
Ooh, difícil. We aren't doing anything.
Nosotros no hacemos
No hacemos
nada.
nada. And now we've got the time stamp. Ahora.
No estamos haciendo nada ahora.
And actually, he used a different way. Estamos haciendo is the same thing as hacemos, but estamos haciendo tells you it's rolling action. It's going on as we're speaking. You could still say no hacemos nada ahora, and it would convey the same meaning.
Can you all buy something for me? ¿Me pueden comprar algo? ¿O pueden comprarme algo? ¿O pueden comprar algo para mí?
Wow, look at all those different ways you can say that.
Pueden.
Pueden comprar, can you buy? The me that's tagged on or put in front of pueden just says for me. That's all, okay? You'll learn to do that at another time. Pueden comprar algo para mí conveys the same idea. But that little word me, when we stick it in front of a verb, it indicates that that person, the me, indicated by that person, is receiving the action, not doing the action. We'll probably get into that fall, actually, this fall.
And if you wanted to use the vosotros form from Spain for this, you all, then you would just substitute pueden for the form podéis.
But you don't need to know vosotros, so.
I didn't say anything to them about your secret.
Oh, and this is past.
No les dije nada sobre tu secreto.
So dije is just the past tense. No les dije nada. And the les says to them. That's all it does. No les dije nada. Bien.
We don't have anything to give you.
Ooh, we don't have anything, no?
Nosotros
No
tenemos
Ah. Okay,
Nada.
and the two give you, we're going to fill that in because you'll need to learn how to do that later.
No tenemos nada que darte. And if the person that we're talking to is somebody that we want to show respect to, then we just change te to le. So, no tenemos nada que darle would be the formal way of saying that. Can you do something? ¿Puedes hacer algo?
Sea algo.
I already ate something at my friend's house.
And this is past, so you don't know that?
Ya comí algo en la casa de mi amigo. Raquel didn't learn anything new in that book.
And again, it's past, so don't worry that you don't know that verb, but just watch how the word order comes by here.
Raquel no aprendió nada nuevo en ese libro. Adrián doesn't understand anything in English.
Ah, Adrián.
Tan-
no enten-
Enten-
And you've had entender.
entender.
And
entender
Entiende.
entiende.
nada.
Adrián no entiende nada en inglés. Do Paco and Diego know anything about cars?
Ah. To know, and this is knowing information, not knowing people. Not knowing places.
Sabe
Saber, right.
algo.
Saben algo.
Carros.
¿Saben algo de los coches Paco y Diego? Did your mom lose something special?
And here's a past, so you won't know that.
¿Perdió algo especial tu mamá? Muy bien. That's all for this video.
Okay. Bien. Vale. ¿Tienen preguntas? Do you have some questions about that? ¿Sí o no? No? Okay.
No.
Vamos. Let's do the same thing, but instead of with algo and nada, we're going to seg into some ideas with alguien and nadie. And those words nada and nadie are very close together, right? Nada, nothing at all. Nadie, also a negative word, but nadie meaning not any person. No one, nobody, not anyone. So alguien will be the affirmative and its opposite pair will be nadie. Okay, and again, these will be examples. We're going to work on some examples together after these videos. So this is our last video till we actually come up with examples on our own. So we'll see how that goes. Vamos a ver un minuto. Tengo que engrandecer.
Hola, en esta lección vamos a practicar las palabras alguien y nadie un poco más. So, as you should have picked up by now, hopefully, alguien in Spanish means someone, somebody, anyone, or anybody, and nadie means nobody or no one. With that in mind, let's try one more thing. I'm going to give you some sentences in English, and you go ahead and try translating them into Spanish using your knowledge of alguien and nadie. Of course, there might be a word or two that you don't know in Spanish, or I might go kind of fast. In either of those cases, pause the video if you need more time and check the word bank if you aren't sure about a word. No one loves Juan.
You might not know the loves, but just see how this rolls.
Nadie quiere a Juan.
Nadie quiere a Juan. Quiere does mean wants. Quiere also means loves. We could also use the verb instead of quiere, ama. Although ama has a more romantic love kind of connotation, whereas quiere may have a more general kind of love connotation, like in familial terms, love amongst friends, love amongst family. Okay. And notice he's got nadie quiere a Juan. Nadie, if it is the subject, can be used without doing the double negative. if it's the subject. And we can do that if we put the special negative word, nadie, right in front of the verb. It can also be done as a double negative, and I think he does both here.
Although the verb querer means to want, it is also used in the sense of to love or to care about when people are the direct object. No one came to my party last night.
You know what? And he didn't show the double negative. So let me show you what it would sound like if we do this as a double negative. Okay? No quiere nadie a Juan. The double negative just means we put a no in front of quiere, and then we swing nadie behind the verb. No quiere nadie a Juan. That would be the double negative format. But nadie quiere a Juan, putting that special negative word in front of the verb, then it can stand alone without having to have that double negative formation or word order.
When people are the direct object. No one came to my party last night. Nadie vino a mi fiesta anoche.
Okay, and you don't know the past for venir, it's vino, but nadie vino. There we go, nadie vino. If we make it a double negative, then it becomes no vino nadie.
Nadie.
No vino nadie. Either way of saying that is equally acceptable. No vino nadie or nadie vino.
Oh, no vino nadie a mi fiesta anoche. Did you go with someone to the dance? ¿Fuiste con alguien al baile?
Now, there you don't know the fuiste, that is a past for go. Fuiste doesn't look like it can come from ir, does it? But it is. Fuiste con alguien. Did you go with somebody? Con alguien, with somebody.
Someone stole Felipe's wallet. Alguien le robó la cartera a Felipe. This is actually different construction from English. While in English we would say something is stolen from someone, in this example we're saying it's stolen to them or for them. We don't know anyone famous. No conocemos a nadie famoso.
And here we cannot use nadie as a single standalone word, because we're saying, we're not using nadie as the subject, that's why. Nadie is not the person, or in this case, there is nobody doing it. We're saying we don't know, because we, nosotros, is the subject in the sentence. We have to use nadie as a double negative.
Remember that we use the verb conocer when we know people and places. Does someone in your family eat grapefruit? ¿Alguien en tu familia come las toronjas? Are you looking for someone? ¿Estás buscando a alguien?
And you could say buscas a alguien, buscas. I don't think we've used that verb buscar very much. We'll hopefully do that some more.
Or if we wanted to be formal, ¿está buscando a alguien? Someone called last night, but I didn't answer. Alguien llamó anoche, pero no contesté. There's someone playing guitar outside.
Ah, there is someone. There is. One verb. No different conjugations to it.
Algún.
Alguien.
Tocar.
Tocando la guitarra. Some of those words you won't know, but some.
Hay alguien tocando la guitarra afuera.
And the tocando just means playing. The ando tagged down to tocar. Ando means ing, right? Tocando la guitarra afuera.
Did someone say my name? ¿Dijo mi nombre alguien? No one was speaking French. Nadie estuvo hablando francés. O no estuvo hablando francés nadie.
And don't worry about the past
You might also
tense,
be able to
please.
say the two options above, but substituting estuvo in the preterite for estaba in the imperfect.
And you will not have to do that, so don't worry about that.
Muy bien. That's all for this video.
Okay, a ver. Bueno, vamos a practicar. We're going to actually do some practice with this now. Ooh, here's where we're going to come up with some interesting new stuff. Since we don't have anybody who feels really good about this idea of opening up a separate window, we're going to do this together. We're going to create some ideas. You guys are going to help create some ideas using these using these. And actually, I will give you the codes for this so that you can kind of go back over it and do it again as like a homework assignment. But this will be a good preview, let's say, to show you how this works. I'll give you a link where you see this link. I'm going to at some point create a link, and I'll send that off in your weekly email that sums up our activities today. And you'll be able to go back into this same exact website later in the week and kind of do this over, and you'll be able to post things on the board you're going to see. It'll give you a code, and this is just a random code, BLAGO. It could look as, it could have a different code by the time I tack onto it. And, no, it won't do that. Can you see the screen though? Wait a minute, okay. So you're gonna see a screen like this, and it says build some sentences using either algo, nada, those combinations, or alguien and nadie. And we're gonna say that people do something or do nothing, or that someone does something, or somebody, you know, we're going to be using those 4 words, algo, nada, alguien, nadie, okay? Someone does something, or someone does nothing, or nobody does something. Por ejemplo, so here are your examples, and here's the important part. Mis hijos preparan algo en la cocina. Preparan algo en la cocina. Or the opposite, the flip side of that would be, mis hijos no preparan nada en la cocina. My kids don't fix anything in the kitchen. Okay, my kids are fixing something in the kitchen. My kids don't fix anything. So we can build an idea around they do something or they are not doing anything with this action. Or we can build some sentences around alguien and nadie. Alguien and nadie. Alguien prepara la comida en mi casa. Somebody's fixing food in my house. Nadie prepara la comida en mi casa. Or no prepara nadie la comida en mi casa. And I'm going to actually redo this so that I underline that double negative in there later on. I forgot to do that earlier. Okay, so in all those examples, we used preparar, a form of preparar. And we use that to build around the affirmative or negative sentences. So here's what you will be doing. We'll do a couple of examples together. You're going to see this, when you go into this link later, you're going to see this great big thing. It's designed to be like a sticky pad, like a Post-it board, okay? And we're only going to post a couple of examples to show you what you can do, but I will want to see your ideas on creating some sentences with this. Okay, ¿está bien? Vale. Okay. Expresa sus ideas, express your ideas, use algo or nada, or use alguien or nadie. ¿Sí? Verbos posibles. So, I want you to use these verbs to build some sentences. I want you to use decir, or repetir, or recordar, or poder, or querer, or entender. Now, the reason I have those verbs is because those are all stem changers that you've done recently. So you're kind of doing double duty, okay? We're going to take maybe 2 examples, dos ejemplos, ¿verdad? We're going to take 2 examples, and I'm going to show you how this works so you know how to do this later on. And I will read during the week, little by little, your ideas as you will post them. So what you're going to do is, do you see this white bar at the bottom where it says share your thoughts? This is where you're going to write your virtual sticky note. Okay? I'm going to type in one idea here, and I'm going to take probably one of the harder verbs up on this corkboard. I'm going to take decir. I'm going to take decir. And I'm going to say, I'm going to create an idea. Oh, I'm going to pretend somebody asked me, hey, what did you say? And I'm going to say, I didn't tell you anything. No, or I'm not telling you anything. We're going to keep it in present. No te digo nada. No te digo nada. No te digo nada. And I'm going to hit post. And boom, it's going to pop up. When you type your idea in and you hit the post button, it will post a little sticky pad like that with an example. No te digo nada. ¿Entienden? Okay, I'm going to change this same sentence. Instead of using nada, I'm going to use algo with the same sentence. I'm going to say something like, I'll tell you something later. Okay, I'm going to just shift it around. And now instead of saying, I'm not telling you anything, I'm changing it to the something idea. Te digo algo. Momentito, I need to put my Spanish accent marks in here. Te digo algo más tarde. Más tarde is later. Okay, I typed it in the lower box. I hit post, boom, there it goes. You can see how that works? Okay, let's do one example maybe with either alguien or nadie. Okay.
No,
Vamos.
no quiero nadie.
I don't want anything. I don't want anything.
No quiero nada.
No quiero nada.
Nada.
No quiero
No
nada.
quiero nada. Bien. We're going to hit post. Boom. And as many ideas. And if you get here and you think, oh, this looks littered with lots of stuff, that's okay.
No,
Right? I'll be able to read. Ian, there could be, 40 things up here and I can still read them. Okay? Vale? Una idea más. Vamos a ver. Nadie puede venir hoy. Nadie puede venir hoy. Nobody can come today. Nadie puede venir hoy. Bien? Okay, let's say you type something and you post and you say, oh, shoot, I messed up. I don't like that. I need to redo it. come up and hit the little garbage can.
Mm.
If you don't like what you posted, oh, you never do that. I do that all the time. Yeah, you need to unpost it. You made a mistake and you want to redo it. Hit the little garbage can. It'll take it out. ¿Entienden? Understand? Yeah? Okay. Now, in the ideal world, what I would be able to do would be I could send this out and you know, somebody could have one window running and be like the scribe for the group and write all your thoughts on the post-it board. But since we don't really, you know, feel comfortable doing that now, what I will do is I will give you the link later on for this same exact thing. Okay, this same exact board. I'm probably going to take off a couple of these examples so that you'll have plenty of room to post everything. And I want you to post some ideas. And I want you to use these newer verbs, right? Decir, repetir, recordar, poder, querer, entender. Anything. Express any ideas. Use something or nothing. Use somebody, someone, or nobody, not anyone. ¿Bien? ¿Entienden?
Mm-hmm.
Vale, ok. Es una oportunidad de ser más creativo. It's an example to be a little bit more creative. Studying, and we'll have you work that as part of your homework. But I wanted you to visually see how that works. It's pretty easy. And I'll probably redo this screen a little bit just to make sure that you have real specific instructions saying type in the white box at the bottom and, you know, click on the garbage can if you need to redo it, if you make a mistake and need to redo it. So I'll modify that a little bit to make sure that everybody is clear on that. Vale, bueno, ok. ¿Hay preguntas o no tienen preguntas? No tienen ninguna pregunta. No, ustedes no tienen ninguna pregunta, ¿verdad?
No.
Vale, magnífico. Ok. Vamos a practicar un poquito con el tiempo. Weather. We're going to practice a little bit with weather. Your homework was to go through a lot of vocabulary. Now, the truth is, this was really vocabulary heavy, wasn't it?
Mm-hmm.
Exactamente. Okay. And sadly, what I need to tell you is that this isn't even all the words you could use. You know, there are many variations. As in English, we have many variations on weather expressions. There are lots of ways that people will tweak those and make them just slightly different. So we're going to have some boards that we can work through together and see if we can match things up. I have an exercise where I'm hoping you can actually take control of the screen and plug in some of your, plug in some answers to questions that we have. Okay. Primero, vamos a repasar. First, we're going to review because also when we're talking about weather, we need to remind ourselves that a lot of times we need some other vocabulary. So I'm going to point you to some ideas. En la página 30, 32. 32 en el libro. 32. En la página 32. Al fondo. Al fondo. Muy al fondo aquí. Tenemos palabras para los meses del año. Los meses del año. Y es importante cuando hablamos del tiempo, es importante repetir un poquito los meses del año, porque muchas veces usamos los meses del año cuando hablamos del tiempo. Entonces tenemos, ¿sí? Quiero que ustedes repitan. I want you guys to repeat these, practice saying these month words a little bit. Enero.
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 Enero, bien. Febrero.
Febrero.
Febrero, sí. Marzo.
Marzo.
Marzo. And it will not sound like a Z in English, right? It's marzo. It'll sound like an S. Marzo. Marzo. Abril.
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 Abril. Mayo.
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 Junio.
Junio.
Julio.
Julio.
Agosto.
Agosto.
Septiembre.
Septiembre.
Septiembre es casi como inglés, ¿no? Octubre.
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 And this is often one of the hardest ones because we want to say Octubre. We're used to October. It's octubre.
Octubre.
Octubre, bien.
Octubre.
Noviembre.
Noviembre.
Diciembre.
Diciembre.
Diciembre, muy bien. Y también las estaciones, the seasons, las estaciones del año. Hay cuatro estaciones del año, ¿verdad? Entonces, el verano.
El verano.
El verano consiste en junio, julio y agosto, ¿verdad? Son los meses del verano. El otoño.
El otoño.
El otoño.
Septiembre, octubre y noviembre son los meses del otoño aquí en Estados Unidos, ¿bien? In Sudamérica no, right? South America has a reversal of seasons, right? So they, our summer is their winter, our spring is their fall, etc. Okay, el invierno. El invierno. El invierno es winter, el invierno. Entonces, el invierno. Bien, diciembre, diciembre, enero y febrero son los meses del invierno, ¿verdad? Y la primavera. La primavera literally first greeting, which makes sense. La primavera. Entonces, marzo, abril y mayo son los meses de la primavera. ¿Bien? Ok. Bien. Y tenemos también la mañana, la tarde, la noche, if you want to talk about a time of day with weather. But really, today, what we hope to use a little bit more are verano, otoño, invierno, primavera, o los meses, or the months. ¿Sí? ¿Verdad? Ok.
Una pregunta.
Sí, tienes pregunta. Dime.
Los meses.
Sí.
No article in front. Are they all el?
Buena pregunta. Generalmente no usamos el a los o las. Usually we don't use an article with months because usually we don't say the May. Yeah, we generally don't use. Yeah, we generally don't use an article, a word the with me.
So
we do with seasons.
Yeah.
We use them with seasons. El verano, el otoño, el invierno, la primavera. Pero el verano o el enero, no. Simplemente enero, just enero.
No. Okay.
Es buena pregunta. It's a good question. They're always good questions. Siempre tienen buenas preguntas. You've always got good questions. Ok, muy bien. Vamos a empezar tengo que regresar un momentito. I need to go back. You are also going to get, I'm going to share this screen with you. And actually, this is good because, again, you're going to get a code. This is going to be set up very similarly to what you saw with algo and nada, alguien and nadie. I am hoping that you'll be able to actually click in later on some of these slides, but for right now, we're going to listen and kind of absorb a little bit. You will get a screen. Again, it will be a lesson just like the other one, but it will look like this, and it's going to have a whole set of slides. It's going to also include some videos, so I will not have to send you a separate link. So you'll be able to play this as a lesson again later on. Whenever you see a little thing like this that's got an icon that looks like a sound icon, that means there's a little bit of audio recorded. Ooh. Oh, but that doesn't work so well with this. Okay. Aquí, here it is.
¿Qué tiempo hace? Se usa hace, o, está, o, hay.
So you get to listen to that. Just so you know, you can play these little, if you have an audio snippet at the bottom. These three verbs, ¿sí? Estos tres verbos, hace, está, hay, son los verbos más comunes para hablar del tiempo. These are the three most common verbs we use when we're talking about weather. So most of that voluminous vocabulary that you worked on this week pairs up with one of these three verbs, either hace, or está, or hay. Usually, you know, there are exceptions, of course. So now you're going to see, when you get this as a separate lesson, you're going to go to the little button that goes forward. Oops. And this is the old video. So we're not going to take a look at that now. If you want to review it, it will be there for you to listen to again. We're going to click forward. Here's one new video. Okay. Y vamos a escuchar. We're going to listen to this. So just like you could click on a regular YouTube, you'll be able to do that here via this lesson, because it'll all come in with this lesson.
Hola, en esta lección vamos a aprender a hablar un poco del tiempo y del clima. Está caluroso. Está caluroso. Está fresco. Está fresco. Está frío. Está frío. Hace viento. Hace viento.
Let's back this up just a little bit. I want you to notice you learned hace calor. It's hot. You can also
Está
express
caluroso.
that with está and a different word. Está caluroso is the same thing as hace calor. So we're looking at this video because he's got some different combinations.
Está caluroso.
Same thing as hace calor.
Está fresco.
Same thing as hace fresco. Same thing as hace fresco, just using a different verb. Está fresco, people may use it that way. Hace fresco. Está fresco, hace fresco. Son iguales, they're the same. Okay? You may hear it either way.
Está fresco. Está frío.
We have hace frío, but está frío, people may say it that way. And está works great because remember, está is a temporary thing, right? It always indicates temporary, and weather, of course, is always very changeable.
Está frío. Hace viento. Hace viento. Está despejado.
Here is a phrase to say it's clear, meaning the skies are clear. And if you turn on a weather forecast, or you hear on the radio while you're driving in the car, weather forecast, this word is used a lot. Está despejado, it's clear. And he's got like a negative slash, meaning no clouds, right? Está despejado, despejado. Despejado, clear. No clouds in the sky.
Está despejado. Está nublado. Está nublado. Una nube. Una nube.
Here is the word that's just cloud. Not it is cloudy, but a cloud. That thing in the sky. Una nube. Una nube. And you can see if I back this up, nublado, of course, comes from nube. Just like cloudy comes from cloud, right? Bien. Está nublado. It's clouded over. That's really what it means. Una nube, cloud. People also may say hay nubes. Instead of está nublado, they may say hay nubes. There are clouds. They may. Depends on what they feel like. People will use different phrases to talk about weather. They'll mix them
Una
up.
nube. Llueve.
Llueve. Llueve means it rains. Llueve, you'll notice it's a stem change verb, right? Llueve. Llueve, it means it rains generally. So I could say llueve mucho. En general, en Arizona, llueve mucho en agosto. Usually it rains a lot in August, right? Yeah. Este año no, not this year, pero generalmente es la temporada del monzón. Usually it's monsoon season for us. Llueve, llueve mucho, rains a lot, llueve mucho en la temporada del monzón. It rains a lot in monsoon season.
Llueve. O está lloviendo.
Here, you may say, why do we have to have two phrases? One saying llueve, the other saying está lloviendo. Está lloviendo is really what people use when they're talking about what it's doing now. I can say llueve en la temporada del monzón. It rains in monsoon season. But if people want to talk about, oh, it's raining right now. Mira, look. Está lloviendo. Está lloviendo. It is raining, and that means it's going on right now as we speak. Bien? Está lloviendo right now.
Está lloviendo. La lluvia.
La lluvia. Here is the noun word. The rain. The thing that is rain. La lluvia.
La lluvia. Y las gotas.
Las gotas. Gotas are just drops.
Las gotas. Hace buen tiempo.
Hace buen tiempo.
Hace.
It makes good weather. Yeah, hace buen tiempo.
Hace buen tiempo. Hace mal tiempo. Hace mal tiempo.
Literally, it makes bad weather. Hace mal tiempo.
Un rayo. Un rayo.
Un rayo is the same thing as un relámpago. Relámpago is a thunderbolt, right?
Mm-hmm.
Lightning, un rayo, often it's used. And that, whoa, that's a shorter word. That's easier to use than relámpago, isn't it? So, un rayo, right?
Está soleado.
Está soleado. The other way to say that is hace sol. So notice so the theme of this whole link that you're going to get as a great big link to work on later is that you may hear people using hace or está or hay, right? In like these weather expressions.
Está soleado. Nieva. Nieva.
Just like llueve is, it rains, nieva, it snows. Nieva mucho en Minnesota. It snows a lot in Minnesota. Nieva mucho en el Canadá. Snows a lot in Canada, right? But if I want to talk about it as a rolling action, like, hey, it's happening right now, I'm more likely to use the next phrase, not nieva, but this next one.
Está nevando. Está nevando.
Está nevando. Just like we have está lloviendo, está nevando, gives it that more rolling, wow, it's happening right now. So when people are speaking in the moment, they will be more likely to use está nevando first. Okay?
La nieve.
Here's the noun, snow, the thing that is snow. La nieve. La nieve.
La nieve. Ahora vas a ver un dibujo y una descripción. Déjame saber si el dibujo es correcto o incorrecto según la descripción.
¿Entienden? Correcto o incorrecto, nada más. Depende del dibujo, depende de la foto. Depends on what he shows you, right?
Hace buen tiempo.
Hace buen tiempo. ¿Correcto o incorrecto?
Correcto.
Correcto, sí. Fácil.
Correcto. Está despejado.
Está despejado.
Correcto.
Correcto.
Correcto. Bien.
Está frío.
Está frío.
Incorrecto.
Okay, it's
Correcto.
correcto.
Está
Incorrecto.
caluroso. Está
Incorrecto.
nublado.
Correcto.
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 Hace viento.
No,
Incorrecto.
correcto.
Está nevando. Está lloviendo.
Correcto.
Correcto.
Está soleado.
No, incorrecto.
No.
Incorrecto. Hace mal tiempo. Está nublado.
Incorrecto.
Incorrecto. Está soleado. Una nube. Incorrecto. Es un rayo.
Incorrecto.
Está frío. Correcto.
Correcto.
Está lloviendo.
No, incorrecto.
Incorrecto. Hace viento. Está fresco.
Correcto.
La nieve.
Mm,
Incorrecto.
Incorrecto.
Ahora te voy a dar opciones y un dibujo. Escoge la descripción que corresponde al dibujo.
Choose the description that corresponds to the drawing. Bien.
Está
Soleado.
Está
Está
frío,
soleado.
está soleado,
Está
Está
soleado.
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 Está soleado.
Claro, sí. Hace viento, está fresco, está nublado.
Está
Está
nublado.
nublado.
Está nublado.
Está nublado.
Hace mal tiempo, está nevando, hace viento.
Hace viento.
Hace viento.
Hace viento, sí, el derecho. Wow, the derecho that came through the Midwest this week, right?
Sí,
Hace viento.
Está fresco, está caluroso, está lloviendo.
está fresco.
Fresco, sí.
Está fresco. Hace mal tiempo.
Hace mal tiempo. Está nevando, está despejado, está lloviendo.
Está nevando.
Está nevando.
Está nevando.
Está frío, está caluroso, está nublado.
Está
Frío.
frío.
Frío, claro.
Está frío.
Está caluroso, está despejado, está lloviendo.
Está lloviendo.
Está lloviendo, claro, sí, lloviendo.
Está lloviendo.
La lluvia, una nube, la nieve.
La nieve.
Nieve.
La nieve.
Una
La nieve.
Está despejado, está nublado, está soleado.
Está despejado.
Está despejado.
está despejado.
Está despejado.
Despejado. Está frío, está fresco, está caluroso.
Está
Caluroso.
caluroso.
Está caluroso.
Hace buen tiempo, hace mal tiempo, está frío.
Hace bien.
Buen tiempo.
Hace buen tiempo.
claro.
Bien. Please remember that whenever learning vocabulary in Spanish, there are many ways to say the same thing. So some might say, for example, instead of está caluroso, hace calor. Instead of está soleado, hace sol. Instead of está frío, hace frío. Instead of está fresco, hace. Instead of hace buen tiempo, está bonito afuera. Instead of hace mal tiempo, está feo afuera.
Está feo, it's ugly. Está feo, literally it's ugly outside. Yeah, okay.
Or maybe even something else. Also, whenever we want to talk about the future with weather, just remember that we can take va plus a plus the verbs with the R ending. So we could say, it's going to rain, va a llover.
Ooh, this ties in with what you learned about double verbs, yeah? Va a llover, va a llover.
It's going to snow, va a nevar.
Or no va a nevar, no va a llover, no, right? You can say it's not going to, or it is going to.
It's going to be sunny, va a estar soleado, etc. One more thing, if you wanted to talk about specific temperatures, first, keep in mind that Spanish-speaking countries prefer the Celsius scale. And here are some possible ways to talk about the temperature in Spanish. First, we might say hace plus the number and then grados. A more Mexican way would be la temperatura está a and then the number grados, or even estamos a and the number grados.
Okay, so now this is not very far off from what we talked about in the very first slide. Hace, hay, está are commonly used, but now we're talking about degrees, right? And of course, they don't use Fahrenheit, right? We do. I don't expect you to have to calculate Celsius. I am not good at that myself. So only thing I know in Celsius is that when people ask me how hot is it in Arizona, when they ask me about where I'm from, I say 40 grados, 40 degrees, and then they all go, oh, 40 grados. Yeah, they know how hot that is. So, okay, hace el número, right? Hace with grados. Hace, so of course you would use Fahrenheit. I would expect you to use Fahrenheit because that's what you know. Hace 105 grados. It's 105. Tengo algo aquí, sí, para medir la temperatura. Hace 105 grados ahora, sí. La temperatura está a 105 grados. Estamos a 105 grados. Así, like that. Perdón. Ay, a ver. Okay. Actually, I think that is the last thing he's got. I cut him off a little bit.
So countries prefer this Celsius scale. And first we might say hace plus the number and then grados, a the number grados.
Okay.
So if I wanted to say it's 34 degrees Celsius, hace 34 grados. Or la temperatura está a 34 grados. Or estamos a 34 grados. Bien? I hope this video was helpful.
Okay, so you'll be able to rewatch that. And when you're done with that again, you're going to click on this little right arrow here, a la derecha, on the right, and it'll take you to the next set of slides, right? And here we've got things kind of in columns to show you how we use these three verbs. ¿Sí? Tres verbos comunes que usamos para hablar del tiempo. Hace calor, hace fresco, hace sol, hace frío. Está nublado, está lloviendo o llueve, ¿sí? Está soleado, está nevando o nieva. Hay nubes, hay lluvia, hay un aguacero. Aguacero es shower. Aguacero. And you can kind of guess that because you see agua, water, right? Aguacero means something that's just not, you know, dumping rain. Aguacero is a shower. Okay, what's the difference between raining? It's a shower and it's raining. A shower is kind of lighter, kind of shorter, right?
Mhm.
It's the only way you can really explain it in English that I know of. Ok, a ver. Y más ejemplos aquí, más ejemplos como hace buen tiempo, hace mal tiempo, hace 90 grados, por ejemplo, está tronando o truena, it's thundering, right? Está tronando is the right now, it is happening right now, and just truena would be the verb for it thunders, okay? Está tormentoso, it's stormy. Está tormentoso. Está despejado, it's clear. Estamos a 70 grados. We're at 70 degrees. Literally, it's 70 degrees. Hay un aguacero, there's a shower. Hay relámpagos. There's lightning, right? Hay niebla. Niebla es como fog, ¿verdad? Ok. A ver. You pairs. Oh, shoot. Okay. Let me go back. When you actually go into this, sorry, and this is new to me. And we're not supposed to see that. Well, you're going to match things up. That's what it's going to look like when you're done. It won't be in that order. It'll be all mixed up. You're going to match up a picture with a phrase. Oh, well, it populated here. No. Okay, I would have to give you a code. All right. Well, you will see what it looks like when you get it. You're going to get a little exercise and you're going to match up. You're going to double click. You'll click on a photo and then you'll click a second time on whatever phrase describes it, right? And I don't want to show you the view pairs too much, but there'll be two little squares. Some of them will be easy and some of them will be a little bit challenging. Okay. You're going to get another slide, set of homework slides. It'll tell you en pareja. En pareja means pair them up, match them up. En pareja, los dos términos que son iguales o casi iguales. Match up, pair up the two terms that are the same or almost the same. This is the hardest level. This one has some tricky parts. And you'll see if you click on two things that don't match, it'll give you an eh. It'll tell you that they don't match up. Okay? So, and again, some will be easy, some will be kind of challenging, kind of hard, kind of nuanced. So that is the hardest level. And you're going to get another sticky board. You're going to get another sticky board. And this, it will allow me to post. Actually, you're going to do this in breakout rooms right now, but we're going to do one example. So this is the same thing that you guys did earlier with the other grammar point, but this is more of a vocabulary thing. ¿Qué tiempo hace? So here's what I want you to do, and you may want to jot this down. I want you to bring up either a month or a season and a place. Three things: a month or a season and a place, a geographic area. It can be here, it can be wherever you grew up, it can be a city, it could be a state, it could be a country, it could be anything. So we're going to show you one example, okay? And again, we're going to do this here as a sticky board exercise, which you can do later, but you're going to go off and talk to each other. So I want you to be thinking about a month and a season and a place. We're going to type this in as an example of what you'll be talking about in a minute. Por ejemplo, a ver, en el invierno, in winter, in the winter, right? En el invierno nieva mucho en Minnesota. And I'm going to post that. En el invierno nieva mucho en Minnesota. Bien. Otro ejemplo. Another example. En agosto hace mucho calor en Arizona. Qué obvio, ¿no? How obvious. En agosto hace mucho calor en Arizona. Bien? So you're going to pair up a month or a season and a geographic place of some kind and talk about the weather. I want you to come up with as many examples as you can in your small group and use any weather phrases you want. I want you to come up with as many examples as you can in about 7 minutes, 7 minutos, maybe 7, 8, 7 or 8 minutes. ¿Está bien? Unless you need more. Yes or no? 10 minutes or you? No. Okay. 7, 8. Then we'll come back. Bien? ¿Está bien? Okay. I'm going to take this off of share. So you're going to be paired up in groups. You're just going to, and this is totally free for all. You can express any ideas you want to about any place in the world that you want to. Okay, bien. I'll give you about 7 minutes to work that. We'll come back, see if you have questions, share some of your ideas. And here we go. Remember, you're going to have to click on the join button when I create the rooms right now, and you'll get a 1-minute warning countdown when we're about to leave.
Two.
Oh,
What are you?
bien.
Okay.
Trish, I noticed you were by your lonesome. Hola, Trish.
I was going to talk to myself.
I didn't want you to talk to yourself. That's why I joined in. I think he's has some problems with his camera, and that's why he's not coming in. So it's not that he doesn't like you. It's that he's got problems with his camera today. He said it was broken. I understand what that's like. Okay.
Okay.
Lucy, your ideas.
Okay. So just do what you said with the season and the weather and a location.
Exacto.
Okay.
Sí, claro.
Okay. Let's see. And that's good that we went over that because I thought it was confusing with I and ase and a sta. So I will just try.
And you have options very often. Right. And people will say different things to you. That's why we're learning that.
Okay. So if you want to say, like, let's say it's Seattle, would you say está lloviendo en Seattle in marzo?
Exacto, sí.
Okay.
Okay. Now, but because March is not right now.
Okay. Okay. Esta semana. How's that?
Perfecto.
Is that esta semana or esta?
Esta semana.
Okay.
Perfecto, Trish. Me gusta.
Okay. You want me to do another one?
Sí, claro.
Okay. Try not to say it's sunny here. Okay. Está tormentoso in Pine Top, Arizona. And well, that's okay. Hoy. I mean, you want me to use
Hoy,
the
sí, sí, hoy, perfecto.
Okay. Okay.
Sí.
Okay. I wish I was there now.
Yo también, me too. Quiero la lluvia. I really want the rain.
Oh my God, 3
Okay,
raindrops.
un ejemplo. Voy a contribuir un ejemplo. I will contribute an example. ¿Sí?
Okay.
Exacto. A ver, en el norte de España, en las montañas, llueve mucho.
Okay.
En el verano llueve mucho en las montañas, ¿verdad?
Sí, voy a las montañas.
Voy a las montañas.
Okay, let me see another one. How about no? How about a negative? Can I do that? Okay.
Bueno.
No, let's see. How do you say cloudy? Here's clouds, clouded. No está nublado.
Bien.
And it's not cloudy. In Phoenix, Arizona in Augusto, in El Verano.
Okay.
Is that
Bien.
correct? It's not, I didn't say it didn't pronounce it very well.
No está nublado en Arizona en agosto.
Okay.
Claro, bien. Otro ejemplo mío, another example of mine, ¿verdad? A ver. Esta semana en Michigan hace 85 grados.
Oh, y muy húmedo.
Claro, sí. Yeah. La humedad es gran problema en
húmedo.
Michigan.
¿Es húmedo?
Casi siempre.
Correct. Húmedo.
Húmedo, sí. Está húmedo. It's humid.
Okay. Yeah, I should use something other than Arizona. Been so long.
Siempre está seco en Arizona. It's always dry in Arizona. Siempre está seco.
Yeah, see. Let's see if another, how about well, this was last summer, so I don't really know how to say past tense, at least I don't remember it, but let's say in España, este verano es muy calor y despejado.
Hace mucho calor. Hace mucho calor.
Yeah, I always get that mixed up.
Hace mucho calor.
Y clear es despejado.
Despejado, está despejado, sí.
Okay. I know it was hot there last summer.
Sí, exacto.
Yeah, this takes some practice. I need to practice in the mirror.
It does take practice, yeah.
It looks easy on paper.
O por ejemplo, aquí en Arizona, en Phoenix, está fresco en febrero. Está fresco en febrero.
See, how about in where was I? Greer? No. What's near Greer? Where's Sunrise? Up in I was just there. Well, we'll pretend like it's near Greer. In Greer, Arizona, hace mucho but lloviendo, está lloviendo esta semana.
Está lloviendo esta semana.
Sí.
Está lloviendo. It's raining this week. Sí, tienen monzón. Tienen monzón. Están en la temporada de monzón y tienen lluvia. Está lloviendo. Perfecto.
Okay.
Perfecto. Otro ejemplo sería, sí, también hace mucho viento y hace mucho calor en California.
Oh, sí. In El Otoño in Arizona, hace muy calor. Is it?
Hace calor, sí.
Hace calor. Oh.
Hace calor, sí. Todavía hace calor en el otoño aquí, en Arizona. Hasta el fin de octubre o en noviembre. Hace buen tiempo en octubre, en noviembre, por lo general. Pero no hace fresco hasta noviembre. It doesn't really get cool till November. Sí, hace fresco en noviembre, ¿verdad? ¿Verdad? Muy bien.
Los personas del el invierno. Still keep coming.
Sí, los que visitan, those who visit, los que visitan del norte.
Okay. So, you know, I have to say, this lesson with all this algun and ingun and alguien and nadie, it was almost overwhelming. Like, there's so much to learn.
And there's so much to
learn
learn.
Spanish.
And it really, it helps you to see a lot of those examples.
Oh, I like them. And I watch it.
That's what you need, because it won't like come to the tip of your tongue immediately until you see a bunch of repetition.
And like the weather guy said, unless you speak it, you're not gonna comprehend it.
Right. No, that's exactly right.
Right. Let's see. No es las nubes.
No hay nubes.
No hay nubes.
Está despejado ahora. Está despejado. It's clear.
Oh, sí.
No hay nubes. So there are many ways you can express it, right? See? No hay nubes.
Okay. Right.
No está nublado.
Okay. Not cloudy.
O está despejado. It's clear. But just like we say it's clear or it's cloudy or there are no clouds, we have that many ways to say in English too.
Okay. True.
That's the difficulty.
Or we could say in la tarde, I'll say, how do you say, está nublado? In la tarde? Yeah.
Sí.
But no llueve. Is that correct? I'm getting there.
No llueve. It doesn't rain.
No llueve. Okay.
No llueve. Sí. Okay. I'm going to have to leave the room because we're at our time limit here.
Okay.
And I'm going to end this for everybody. It'll take me a minute. Okay, estamos aquí. We're all here. Bien. Bueno, ¿tienen algunas preguntas? Do you have any questions about your examples or, things that you're not quite sure if you got it right, and you should unmute yourselves? Algunas preguntas. Any questions that you had about that little, that's kind of harder than just listening to people using the words, isn't it? No, nada? No questions?
No.
Okay. You're going to have, you're going to get my two little links, one for the affirmative and negatives, and then one for the weather. You can go back in and you know, add little sticky notes at the end of the exercise. But again, it'll always, you know, I'll send you the links that will get you into that. If for any reason it doesn't work, just come back and email me. But I think they will work, because I did kind of a dry run with my daughter on that, and she was able to pick it up from getting the link for sure. So, okay, yeah. We're going to end up on, ooh, or no. No, I'm not going to give you more, because then I will overload you. Yeah. I may give you one extra video to watch as homework. It's on another affirmative negative, and you're going to notice it's like Trish told me, and this was true because I had to go into a session to join with Trish. It's kind of a lot having all these extra vocab, isn't it? If I were to just send you off to the book, it's got like probably 50% more, and it's all very dense. And we want to like separate it out so that you don't have everything at once. But I am going to give you, because this is another common thing, how to say never and always. Never and always. And in the chat box, I'm going to, just as a preview, write for you what those words are. And you may notice them. You may have seen them in passing. Siempre. Siempre means always. That's our affirmative word. Our positive idea word. Siempre. Todo el tiempo. All the time, right? That's siempre. Always. But the flip side to that, the flip side to the coin, the opposite side, the opposite of siempre, is usually this word here, nunca, never. Now, I'm going to caution you, there is a second word that is a synonym for nunca. However, it is this word here, jamás. Jamás. It's great, it starts with a J. Jamás. Jamás means the same thing as nunca. I will tell you, jamás is a little more common in Spain. Or it's an older word. You may see it more in writing than you hear it conversationally. But nunca would be the common word for another. Siempre, nunca, siempre, nunca. Por ejemplo, voy a darles un ejemplo. I'm going to give you an example. Siempre hablo demasiado. I always talk too much. Siempre hablo demasiado, ¿sí? Nunca, nunca llueve en febrero. Aquí, here. Aquí nunca llueve en febrero. Casi nunca, almost never. Casi nunca, almost never. Bien? Nunca. Nunca, again, can be used as a double negative. Por ejemplo, no llueve nunca. No llueve nunca. It never rains. Or we can take that special word nunca and move it to the front of the verb, and then it can stand alone without being a double negative. Nunca llueve. Nunca llueve. It never rains. No llueve nunca. Double negative form of that. They both mean the same thing. Bien? Vale? You'll get a video on it. Just kind of watch it and absorb. It's more a vocabulary thing, except for that idea of if you use the special negative word, it can often stand alone when it's placed in front of the verb. Otherwise, if we swing the negative word, whether it's nadie or nada or nunca, if we swing it to the back of the verb, then we need it as a double negative format. No, the verb, and nada. No, the verb, and nunca. No, the verb, and nadie. Bien. Okay. Perfecto. ¿Tienen preguntas o no? Any questions? No? We're just practicing all these things because it's very vocabulary laden, so a lot more weather practice. And I think when you get the links, you'll find the matching up things kind of challenging. It'll be fun to do. And you can do that all practicing online. ¿Está bien?
Está bien.
Vale, eso es todo para hoy. That's all for today. Next week is our last session. Itzhak did have some questions regarding prepositional pronouns, and that'll be easy. We'll cover that next week. I was hoping to do it today. We ran out of time. And I also didn't want to overload you. So we'll fit that into next week. And lots more practice with all these affirmatives and negatives and with weather expressions. And that'll be it. I'm going to leave this turned on in case people want to chat with each other or me or whoever until you're just ready to take off. If you need to take off immediately, que tengas buen día. May you have a good day. Y eso es todo.